Can the steel stocks keep climbing even if President Trump's trillion-dollar infrastructure plan won't be working its way through Congress anytime soon? You know, I don't think it will. That's an important question because few industries would benefit more from Trump's agenda of protecting U.S. manufacturers, boosting economic growth, and spending big on infrastructure than the steel makers. Take Nucor, the incredibly well-run American steel company with a stock that's rallied 18% since the election. Does Nucor need help from Congress in order to make its numbers going forward? The company didn't exactly blow people away when it reported back in January. Got to wonder whether some of those gains could be repealed if Trump's economic agenda gets put on hold while the GOP tries to figure out health care. On the other hand, though, steel makers like Nucor are some of the most cyclical companies out there, which means they tend to do a heck of a lot better than the average stock in an accelerating economy. I think that that's probably enough, but don't take it from me. Let's talk with John Ferriola. He's the chairman and CEO of Nucor. Get a better chance of how his company's doing and where the broader steel market is going. Mr. Ferriola, welcome back to Mad Money.
Hello, Jim. How are you?
All right, John. It looks like right from the get-go in your conference call, you think 2017 is going to be a better year than 2016. How come?
Well, there's many reasons. When you look at the industry utilization rates, they're up. Again, across the industry, pricing is up. Imports are down. That's also a good sign. Service center inventories are down. Another good sign. What we said on our conference call was that 2016 was better than our 2015, and that we expected 2017 to be significantly better than 2016.
Now, you spent a lot of money. Since 2009 to 2016, you invested $7 billion. There were a lot of companies that were trying just to stay afloat during that period. What has that investment allowed you to do?
Well, that investment allows us to profitably grow our company. And frankly, Jim, that's a benefit of our strong financial position. During these down cycles, we can invest when it makes the most sense to invest. Acquisitions are a little bit cheaper. Equipment and labor is a little bit cheaper. So investing during the downturns allows us to build our potential earnings power for the inevitable upcycles when we can then release it to the benefit of our shareholders.
Well, John, if you could get corporate tax reform, what would you do with the additional money? Could you hire more people? Because I know that you sense that there's demand picking up here.
There's no doubt that the demand is going to be picking up. And if we did have benefits from a change in the tax laws that reduced our corporate tax rate, we would definitely invest that money in our company, grow our company, and that would result in us hiring more people, creating better, higher-paying jobs for more American workers. And that's what we need in this country.
Now, at the same time, because you have been so dominant in the last 3 years, you've really come on strong in autos. You always have to go, as your predecessor told me, where the customer is, which led to a decision to do a joint venture in Mexico. Do you think the president would recognize there's really kind of no choice? Nucor has to do what its customers want?
Well, there's no doubt about that. And Jim, just so we're clear, we have been in Mexico for over a decade. So we know the market, we know the customers there. And I would point out that when you look at the automotive companies that have based in Mexico, they have invested billions, literally billions of dollars on their factories there. So they're not going anywhere. So our mill in Mexico, our joint venture in Mexico, will be supplying galvanized steel to those factories that are already there. Okay. And Jim, I would point out that we will be supplying about half of that substrate from the United States, 200,000 tons of steel produced in America by American workers, we will export to Mexico. So this is actually an export opportunity, creating American jobs.
Got it. Now, where do you stand in terms of tariffs these days? Because I've always felt, and, you know, candidly, Dan D'Amico changed my mind about a lot of things, your predecessor, that we have been in a trade war, we just didn't know that we have been. There have been some steel qualities that they put some tariffs on. But if in an ideal world where you're the low-cost producer and you've worked so hard to be the low-cost producer, what other forms of steel would you like to see some protection on, given the fact that the cheaters are high-cost producers, but they dump it here, and they've done it for years?
Well, in 2016, Jim, we had many victories on the trade front surrounding particularly the flat-rolled businesses. We still need some help on the long product side, particularly rebar. We feel that there's a lot more to be done to protect American jobs in the rebar market. We've got some help, like I said, victories in 2016 on flat-rolled. And I have to say that our government has made significant progress in strengthening our trade laws and strengthening the enforcement of those trade laws. So we're making progress, but there's still more work to be done. But Jim, I assure you of one thing. Nucor will continue the fight until we get free and fair trade for America.
All right, what would happen if we really did have $1 trillion infrastructure bill? I mean, wouldn't this put a huge number of people to work if they did it right?
Absolutely. And by doing it right, it means rebuilding our crumbling infrastructure by using American steel produced by American workers, melted and rolled in the United States. It would be a tremendous amount of steel that would be required, and it's absolutely essential. Infrastructure is the lifeblood of manufacturing, and manufacturing is the lifeblood of every economy in the world. So we need to get our crumbling infrastructure repaired. We need to do it with American steel produced by American workers. That would create a tremendous number of high-paying manufacturing and production jobs in the United States.
One last question, John. You've always had that dividend, and you had no problem paying because you have a great balance sheet. Any chance you ever get back to where Nucor used to pay these great special dividends in big years? Think that can ever happen again?
You know, that depends, on our performance. Obviously, we would love to have the opportunity and the ability to pay a special dividend again. And if we see the right things happening, as we see today happening in Washington, with trade, with tax, with infrastructure, frankly, with deregulation, we believe all of those will help America and Nucor get back to a position where we can pay special dividends again.
Well, there's a lot riding, but I know you're going to do well with or without Washington, but you've done exceptionally well. John Ferriola, Chairman and CEO of Nucor, great to see you, sir.
Good to see you, Jim. Thank you.
I hope you understand why I always recommend this deal. I know you call AK Steel. I know you call letter X. I need the balance sheet. I need the dividend. I need this man. I need their business. This is the one to own. Nucor. Mad Money's back after the break. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.